Robert Whittaker thinks Khamzat Chimaev is going to dominate Sean Strickland. Rob was submitted in the first round by Khamzat back in October of 2024 and thinks he's just going to run over Sean.
Having been there in there with Chimaev, having seen what Chimaev can do once he gets his hands on you, and he will, because he shoots from so far away, and he commits wholeheartedly in it. He will get you to the mat. It's what happens after. Seeing that he has the cardio to be able to do that for 5 rounds as well, mate, it's gun to my head, Chimaev's going to run him over.
Joe Rogan, on the other hand, thinks Sean Strickland has a real chance of beating Khamzat. On the most recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, he said Sean has talked so much he's a wild dude, and that talking that he does is emotional warfare. It's like what Conor used to do. When Conor did that with Jose Aldo, he had him so up before that fight, he was just so emotional. Aldo was a legend. Nobody talked about him. Everybody was terrified of him. By the time the fight happened, Aldo was just so worked up, and Conor was just super relaxed and smiling. Strickland is one of the best fighters on planet Earth. Strickland is a legitimate world champion. He's accustomed to 5 rounds. He's got phenomenal cardio, and he's one of the hardest guys to hit in the sport. Listen to me, as an expert, allegedly, he's got some of the best takedown defense in the game and underrated grappling. Strickland has a legit chance. I'm telling you, he can win. Alex Pereira recently weighed in on the upcoming matchup between Khamzat Chimaev and Sean Strickland this weekend at UFC 328. As most of you know, Alex does not like Khamzat whatsoever and is close friends with Sean. Khamzat has called out Alex to fight numerous times, and Alex responded by calling Khamzat a coward seeking attention. Speaking to the UFC this week, Alex said, "Everyone knows I'm rooting for Sean Strickland. He's got to stay composed, keep pressing forward, stay alert, watch out for the takedowns, use his jab and front kick. I'm really excited and motivated for the fight, and I hope he gets the win." Dustin Poirier says he'd be willing to come out of retirement to fight Nate Diaz.
You know what's one I always wanted to see, because I know the pressure would have been wild, was you and Nate. I know that one. And you don't like him, he don't like you. That would have been a crazy one.
I still want to whip Nate's.
I know.
Nate is the one guy you'll come back for, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'll come back to fight him. Because it got away and he lied, and the fans ran on his side whenever the UFC knew I was going to fight Nate at our first matchup in Madison Square Garden. Then Nate was having trouble with his negotiation. I don't know what was going on, but UFC called me and said, "Hey, we want to keep you on the Madison Square Garden card. Would you fight so-and-so?" They started offering me other people. I said, "Listen, if it's not Nate, I'm not fighting. I'm going to go have my hip taken care of. If it's Nate, I'll fight." It wasn't Nate. They offered me Kevin Lee. They offered me a few other names. I said, "I'm going to go have surgery on my hip." And then Nate used that as I was the fall guy. The fight's off because I pulled out, but I never pulled out.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to fight anybody else but Nate.
Last week, it was initially reported that Islam Makhachev would be defending the welterweight title against Michael Morales next. However, that narrative quickly shifted, and now it's being reported that the UFC is targeting Islam versus Ian Garry for this summer. Meanwhile, Michael Morales appears to now have his sights set on Carlos Prates, following Prates' impressive TKO win over Jack Della Maddalena over the weekend. Morales posted a photo of the two to his Instagram story today. Who do you guys think would win between Morales and Prates? Post your opinions in the comments. Carlos Prates reveals he kept his hands down for most of the fight with Jack Della Maddalena because he wasn't worried about JDM's power.
Hands down for a lot of the fight. Were you not worried about Jack's power?
Bro, on the beginning of the fight, I feel like I got some punches. And then I was like, man, it's not gonna knock me out, yeah, when I fought Joffrey, when I fought Leon, I was the same. I start to fight with my hands up, and then I got some punches. I was like, it's okay, I can do my game, because I like to drop my hands, and do some feints, if you remember, many times of the line, I just feint, and Jack was like, what's coming, and then I didn't punch him and move a little bit, I like that. So I feel I got some punch, and I was like, no, he don't gonna knock me out today.
Tai Tuivasa is hanging out with Jack Della Maddalena following their losses at UFC Perth.
Alright, so we're down here at North Beach, and you know what? We're also here with the men, but here we're scoring surfing 1 through to 5. See how good you are. Get down here, show us your best wave. Old Bud's, he's doing well, but he can do better.
Sorrento.
If you got it, get down here. Give us your best wave.
Get on that!
Jiri Prochazka speaks on evolving mentally and physically following his knockout loss to Carlos Ulberg as he prepares for what's next. He posted some training footage to his Instagram last night. In the caption, he wrote drills, power, technique, endurance, precision, breathing exercise, timing, and a solid base to the next chapter. If something can start again now, let it start with the feeling of a newborn, not just my daughter, but also myself. Slowly but surely understand a new order to establish in life, to listen, understand, to love, to express and fight. In the end, at first, fully ensure all this to be fully locked in when the time comes. Grateful for all the opportunities to live fully, direct the mind, see through the fear, and use this energy to grow. Strength, honor. God bless. Tom Aspinall says his eye is healing well and that he expects to be cleared for contact training soon. He also revealed that his return fight is likely to come against the winner of Alex Pereira versus Ciryl Gane.
We are just en route back from the eye hospital where today I've had a scan and things are progressing nicely, which I'm very happy about. They're saying pretty soon, if things keep moving in the right direction, I will be cleared for contact. I am back in the gym, I am back training, no sparring just yet, but if things keep going the way they're going, we are back. The other two guys, Alex and Ciryl, have to fight for the interim title. I'm obviously going to fight the winner. The UFC have told me that I'm fighting the winner. First and foremost, I have to get my health right, which is on the right track.
When are you thinking about the comeback? Any specific month?
No specific month. I'm waiting to get clearance, which is going to be coming soon. They've just told me. Any specific month depends on the UFC. Those other two have got to fight each other. Let them do the thing first, recover from that, and then when everybody's ready, we'll do it.
Ilia Topuria says fighting Justin Gaethje at the White House is not a political thing for him. Topuria made it clear that for him, it's strictly about the fight and nothing else. In an interview last night, he said, "Look, at the end of the day, sports for me has no flags. The athlete is the athlete. I fight, I compete for and work for a company. The company told me I have to be at the White House, so I'm going to go do my job. This isn't a political stance, not at all. It's simply that they called me to do a job, and I'm going to go do it. And the White House, well, it's not just one person's house. It's everyone's house. Today there's one person, tomorrow there's another, and so on." Jon Anik says the Carlos Prates cigarette bit is starting to get old. During Prates' walkout at UFC Perth over the weekend, the broadcast once again highlighted his smoking habit. But Anik believes the focus should shift more towards how skilled he is as a martial artist.
What do you train? I mean, how many fucking...
I can only get so many tickets.
I was a little bit surprised that they led the walkout talking cigarettes, which I think is so tired at this point in time. Not only is nicotine a perpetually misunderstood drug, but we need the narrative on Carlos Prates to be the martial artist. His entire life's body of work, the fights in Thailand, the jiu-jitsu competition, right? This guy's got hundreds upon hundreds of fights in all of these different disciplines. You talk about his relative comfortability on the feet. I mean, he isn't drinking wine the night before, celebrating the win like Topuria, but he acts as if the outcome is an eventuality, and he knows that he's going to eventually find a shot and get you out of it.
Daniel Cormier doesn't think fans would care if the UFC booked Islam Makhachev versus Carlos Prates rather than Islam versus Ian Garry.
I mean, it feels like it's going to be Ian Garry. But if it was to be Prates after that, nobody would complain. Nobody would complain. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we just saw Islam beat Jack Della Maddalena in the way that he did. We saw him dominate Jack Della Maddalena to win the championship. The way Islam beat Jack was not nearly as impressive as what Carlos Prates did the other day. Now, it was impressive. He made it look easy. But that yesterday was crazy. That was crazy. It looked like Della Maddalena didn't belong in there with Prates. Now, if that's how Carlos fights from now on, if that's who he is today, a guy that really takes his time, is patient, can pick people apart like that, and he's huge for the weight class. He's a real issue.
So yesterday we reported on the parking lot brawl involving Alex Bejeda's head coach Paulinho Cruz, along with Patricio Pitbull and his brother Patricky. If you missed it, here's a quick recap. Patricky was supposed to face Shazab Rind at Karate Combat 61, but things turned physical during their face-off. Then the following morning, Rind and his team showed up to the fighter hotel and ambushed Pitbull's team with water guns. That's when things escalated. Pitbull's team chased them out to the parking lot, where a massive brawl broke out, with Paulinho Cruz attempting to separate everyone. Patricky ended up suffering a cut above his eye and was ultimately pulled from the fight. Multiple fighters involved have also reportedly been suspended by the Florida State Athletic Commission. Now today, the Pitbull brothers released new footage showing Rind's team shooting them with the water guns. They accuse Karate Combat of trying to manipulate the narrative. We still can't show the actual brawl here on YouTube, but this footage gives you a better idea of what started it.
Galera, esse evento nunca teve tanta visualização como tá tendo agora. Propositalmente esconderam algumas imagens que nós decidimos mostrar para vocês. Já que eles estão tentando manipular as imagens, nós mostramos o nosso lado e o que eles cortaram. Só a verdade, acompanhe.
Here was Alex Bejeda's live reaction to finding out he was on the cover of UFC 6.
Holy shit. Oh my god. Amazing. Achei top demais e, pô, vendo, né, no jogo do UFC 6, número 6. Eu gosto dessa foto aqui. Uma das preferidas. A gente vê o quanto sendo reconhecido, todo o trabalho que eu venho fazendo. Né, de estar na novo jogo aí, na capa. Amazing, chama.
And that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. These comments are in reference to the influencer MMA fighter Wing C, interrupting a live fight at Karate Combat 61 over the weekend. The first one's from CB Tellis. It says, Wing is an absolute clown. The second one's from Hamza LFC. It says, was 5 full minutes of Wing C really necessary? And the final one's from Largemouth Fisherman 5298. It says, Wing should have gotten the Raja Jackson treatment. If you want to be featured in our next video, all you have to do is drop a comment down below. Also, be sure to check out our latest video essay on why MMA fans are turning on Dana White. It's on screen right now. And as always, thanks for watching.